I'm feeling so light, hearing the angelic sounds of our ancestors singing through the night for the supernova body. Listen to the realms of beyond, sacred wisdom healing my mind. Chakras align when I listen to supernova day. It's more than a podcast, it's a whole vibe. Expanding consciousness as you shift your mind. Tune into the supernova body so you can raise your vibration. Don't be afraid to make changes and create a new you. It's more than a podcast, it's a whole vibe. Expanding consciousness as you shift your mind. Supernova body, a cosmic party. New way of life, it's a supernova body. Yeah.
Here we are. Let's get it. Hello and welcome to Supernova Body Podcast. I am your host, Simone Michelle, and this is episode 9, where we're talking about how to choose healthy friends, right? We've talked about codependency in friendships, we've talked about negative relationships, we've talked about love and toxicity and all that. But how do you choose good friends, right? How do you decide who gets the invitation into your life, right? So we're going to go over that today, and I hope you learned something or have a great experience. All right, here we are. So what does a healthy friendship look like? Again, this is subjective, right? Everybody can choose for themselves what a healthy relationship looks like in regards to friendship. However, there are some key indicators that will help guide you and align you with your core values and give you little aha moments and flags and flashes that, yeah, this feels good. This is right. This is right. Okay, so one of the main things to consider is, what are the core values of friendship for you? So we've talked about core values as who we are as a person, but that doesn't always translate to friendships. Sometimes what we want in a relationship to feel safe is completely different from what we want from a friend, right? We want somebody that we can talk to, who we know is not going to take our business and share it where we don't want it shared. Let me close that door. Or it could be you want a safe space that can give you good advice and, again, not take your business out to the world, but will tell you the honest truth in a way that is loving and gentle. And there may be some people that are like, I don't need gentleness. Just tell me the truth. My personality is rough and tough and stuff, and I don't care. Just tell me the truth. That is what's most important to me. So these are the things that you have to kind of put together within yourself. Does it look like mutual respect, where you both respect each other? Do y'all talk smack to each other all day long? Are you goofy with each other? What does it look like? Are they business owners too? Or do they believe in entrepreneurship? Or are they different from you? What are the core values of your friendships? What should they look like? How do you communicate with one another? Do you guys have the same core values? Is it okay if they have differing core values? Because sometimes you could be with someone in a relationship that is a Trump supporter, but you couldn't marry one, right? You could be in friendship and union with somebody that is completely different from you, but you couldn't do that romantically. So we have different expectations for our friends than we do for our partners. So what does it look like? What does it look like? All right. And so it's also not about perfection, right? But consistent positive patterns. So people are not perfect. And I don't want anyone to get from the podcast that I have recorded to feel that perfection is the only way to have healthiness, right? Because we're all growing and learning people every single day. Striving for greatness is definitely something that should be a priority for everybody, but sometimes it's not, right? And sometimes we don't want that in friendships, whatever. But what does it look like for you if your friend makes a mistake, right? If they make a mistake and it looks like, why did you do that? Why would you have ever violated that boundary? Did they know that it was a boundary? Did they know that you had these expectations? Did you communicate it more than once and then they didn't listen? What is a point for you where you've decided, now I've got to walk away and this is no longer a healthy friendship? How do you make that final decision and choice? How do you determine um, what that looks like for you? Because everyone has their own levels, But again, when we learn our core values, we learn our standards, we learn our beliefs about ourselves and what resonates with us, we can listen to our body, right? You could have a friend that you used to love being around, and then they do something, and now they're being around them is tough, right? Is this something that you can fix with a conversation, or did they just show you maybe they're not the friend for you? You know, we definitely have options, when it comes to friends and people that we allow into our life. No one has an automatic lifetime or pass, right? We all have the decision whether someone should be in our life forever or just for a moment, a time, or a season or reason. We have that choice. And it's okay to implement it whenever you feel like it. Okay, so why is it important to choose good quality friends? Why isn't it important to have friends that um, align with your core values? Why would that be a good idea? Well, because birds of a feather flock together. And you can say, well, my friends are hoes and I'm not. Your mindset might align, you might not be out here sleeping and creeping, but you don't necessarily have an issue with it, right? Um, so it's definitely possible that who you're surrounded by can have an influence on how you think or how you feel about the world around you, how you handle negative consequences, how you handle bad situations. Having the right circle of friends will keep you out of jail. Having the wrong circle of friends may push you there. And you might notice when you get there that they're no longer in your life, right? So, circles, the people we choose is important. Okay, let's say you are not an entrepreneur, you don't see the purpose or beauty in that, but you're surrounded by a whole bunch of friends that are entrepreneurs and they believe in the power of getting the dollar for themselves, and they start to rub off on you, and then you have a little hustle, a little hobby that turns into a major business. That happened because of the environment and the people you chose to be around, right? And those people had a positive influence on you, which led to a positive experience for your life. In the same way, if we choose negatively to hang out with people that may do things that don't really align to us, that doesn't really feel good and doesn't um, highlight our core values, then uh, it may seem that we're starting to make decisions that don't align with who we are. And then before we know it, we're doing things we have no idea how the heck we got there, right? Doing drive-bys, fruitings, drive-by fruitings. And we have no idea how we got the fruit. Okay? So, just move on from that. Okay, so what we kind of talked about is recognizing unhealthy friendship patterns, but I just want to briefly touch on that again so that we have a clear idea of what that could look like in friendship dynamics. So we could have a friend that is a critic, that is always pointing out your flaws and doing it in a way of judgment. So you see them and they're like, hey girl, your eyebrows is off today. Girl, your hair is never laid. Like, let me help you. Like, there is a way, right? A way to approach and say these things where it comes from a place of love and really let me help you get yourself together because I know that you're going through some things, or it coming from a place of I'm better. Like there's a difference, right? And depending on what you want in your friendships, having a critical friend may not be it for you. The drainer vampire who is constantly needs help but never reciprocates. Leaves you feeling exhausted every time you talk to them. Every time you get off the phone, you're just like, oh, bro, here they're calling again with another problem, another issue. Like being in their presence really just drains me. Like, oh my gosh, always, 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 always. Um, that may not be where you are in life. You may not be able to handle anything like that. And it's okay to take a step back and be like, you know what? Right now, I don't have the capacity. I love you, but let me just get myself together so that I can be able to handle that. And if they, by the time you come back around, haven't got themselves together and are in a different space, then maybe that friendship is just not one that's going to work with where you're trying to go in life or where you're trying to be. We could definitely always help people, but that's not always our assignment, you know? Let God be God, whoever their God is. Just let him control. Let him be in control. Okay, the competitor sees everything as rivalry, can't genuinely celebrate your success. Oh my goodness. So this could look like you just got your degree and they're just like, oh wow, I did that like 3 years ago. I remember how that felt. Like, girl, what this got to do with you doing this 3 years ago? I just did it. So let's clap for me, okay? And I don't need to elaborate further on that. The gossiper spread rumors, talks behind others' backs. Eventually, it will be about you. Now, this is something I've learned firsthand. Okay, having friends that constantly talk about other friends, right? I know everybody's business in their friend group. I'm not even in the friend group, but I know everybody's business in that friend group. Or we're in a mutual friend group, and I now know everybody's business in our mutual friend group. What they told to them, I now know. Eventually, that's going to be my business that everybody knows that I didn't tell, right? And yeah, it happens. It do. It just, if this is your pattern, your natural pattern, eventually it's going to be you that they're talking about to somebody else. And if that's a problem for you, then that's a problem. But you may be like, it is what it is, These are my friends too, so I don't care who knows. Or you may care. I care. So don't tell my business. And if I didn't tell it to you, it's not your business to know. Okay. The enabler encourages unhealthy behaviors or choices. This is how you end up in jail. Yeah, this is how you end up in jail, right? That man cheated, that woman cheated, and now you're in jail because that friend told you, go, girl, go tell them how you feel. Go tell them how you feel, right? Confront them. Show up, girl. Bust them windows. And now you're doing time. Yeah, yeah. Okay, the ghoster, inconsistent, unreliable, disappears without explanation. And this was me during my entire entire educational experience. Yes, yes. But I gave explanations and I prepared everyone in my life that you may not see me for a year and a half. You may not, but I love you, but I'm focused. So there's that. The ghoster, very inconsistent. This may be something that's intolerable for you. You may need your friend to be able to be there 24/7, 8/11. That may be something that you really need. I kind of feel some kind of way about this because I am not always available. Okay. I have kids. I have kids. I have reasons. But I want to be and I want to show up. But sometimes emergencies happen. Okay. But again, communication is everything. So disciplining without explanation is the main different, differentiating, differentiating point. Different point, okay? It's the main distinguishing point that separates the two. So one is kind of okay, if that's okay for you, and the other is absolutely unacceptable in a healthy dynamic. So, what are healthy friend signs, which is what we really care about, which is what we want to get to? They lift you up, they encourage you, they celebrate your goals and your wins as if it's their own. They're so proud. Anytime you do something that is amazing, they are right there. They're your biggest cheerleaders, okay? They listen. They for real hear you and don't make your situations about them, right? Everything that you're going through is I hear you. I get that this is hurtful for you. I get that this really sucks. I get where you are, and that's okay. That's okay that you're there. What do you need from me in this moment? How do you need me to support you? Do you need me to beat somebody up? Because I could do it, you know, metaphorically, because we're not trying to go to jail again, you know, trying to prevent that from happening. But what do you need from me, right? What is needed in this moment? They challenge you constructively. They often honest feedback in a supportive way. So let's say your eyebrows really are off, like for real, which mine probably are today, and I don't care. Okay, that friend, if you ask or you solicit, and you're just like, I'm really trying to figure out how to get this better, or my eyebrows are really off today. Can you help me? They're like, absolutely. I this is what I do for me, or this is what I've noticed, or this is what has helped me. And can we try this, or can we try that? That's very different from being just nice nasty, where it's like, girl, get yourself together. Your eyebrows is a mess. Like, why is that needed? Just help, okay? Whatever. Whatever. Um, they challenge you to be better, right? So in the same way, if your friend is honestly asking you, you know, um, how should I handle the situation? You give honest feedback. They give honest feedback. Like it's a mutual thing. Um, they're reliable and consistent, right? They follow through with what they say that they're going to do. They're consistent with what they're saying. So they are able to communicate if anything is going to change, right? Like, okay, I don't have the ability, something came up, something changed, but this is what I'm going to do in lieu of that, or this is what my plan is to do maybe tomorrow, but I'm not just going to bail on you, right? I'm going to communicate and explain if anything ever needs to change, but I'm consistently there and available for whatever it is that you need, even if it's just 5 minutes, even if that's all they've got, right? Look, I've got things to do, businesses, whatever to run. I've got 5 minutes. I've got 10 minutes on my break I can give to you while I'm at work. I've got 10 minutes. I've got half an hour that I can stop by for, and then I've got to go. It's consistent time. They're making space, right? They respect your boundaries, right? And your no's, your no's, your no, and they're like, okay, cool. Sometimes you cannot talk on the phone, but you could text, right? Or sometimes you're not in a place where you can be that support, and you're communicating that, and they're like, I get it. I respect that boundary. And they're not going to be like, well, I need you and you can't be there for me. It's like, hey, 95% of the time, yeah. But today, my dog died, so I don't feel like it. I need you to show up for me instead today. I don't know. Or both our dogs died. We could just sit in silence. I don't know, because I don't have it. All right. They share your values. Again, core values. When you have different core values, you can expect that there will be conflict. But is it conflict that you're okay with? Do you like that challenge? Do you like that abrasion? Does that not bother you? You might not be that sensitive, if they don't like the color blue and you do. Okay, that's not necessarily a core value issue. If they hate animals and you're a veterinarian and you love them with your life, maybe core values aren't aligning. That might cause an issue, or it might not. Who knows? That's your profession. Maybe you separate that from your life when you're done. When you're off work, you may not want to deal with animals. You may not want to see animals. I don't know. It's your life, right? Okay. All right. They practice mutual effort. Again, it's a two-way street, and everything is balanced. They really take time to consider you. You know, my best friend has a ideal purse. My best female friend. I have to be very clear when I say that. My best female friend has an ideal purse that she absolutely wants and adores. And the moment my finances align, she will have that purse. Okay. My best friend, that's a guy, has dreams and goals and things. And the moment my finances align, he will have my support in that. Because I'm considering them and they consider me, and it's a reciprocal relationship, right? And I believe that is what is healthy in friendships. It's a place where you can be safe. And if you don't have those spaces, it's okay to start over and create them. We're not too old to make friends. It's not no new friends over here. It's, are you safe? Cool, come on in. Come on in, friend. Although my friends have been my friends for almost over a decade and almost a decade. No, over 2 decades and almost 2 decades doesn't mean they started that way, right? It doesn't mean that our friendships with each other have been perfect every day. We have grown from teenagers to adults together. So there's been a lot of changing, a lot of growth, a lot of confrontation, self confrontation, really checking yourself to see, am I being a good friend? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do? Because I'm not really, is it me? Am I the villain? Because sometimes you are the villain, and sometimes you are hurting people in ways that you have no idea, and sometimes they're hurting you in ways that they have no idea. But a conversation can make the world change if both people are willing to change, right? And be accountable for wherever they may fall short. Like I said, I sometimes I disappear, okay? But I have friends that know how to send out and reel me back in. Um, and sometimes they disappear, and I know how to go out and reel them back in. It's not always going to be one sided in a friendship or relationship. And as adults, we go through life, right? Um, Even as teenagers, life be life and for everybody. And so sometimes the position that you play in a relationship may change, right? You may need to be more of a support than you ever have before. You may need to show up in different ways than you ever had to before. It may have been okay to be long distance, and now your friend is going through something and they require your support more face to face. Okay, it's okay. That's part of being a good friend. And sometimes we just don't simply have the capacity to be anything more than a texter every now and then, here and there. And that's okay to communicate to your friends. You got to do what works for you in choosing healthy relationships and people that are okay with it, you know? And if people don't align with that, like I have friends that I love so much and I wish I had more time, but I don't have the capacity to be what they need in the way that they need it. I can only do what I can do. So they are more of acquaintances and more of like just regular basic friends right now, but I love them deeply. And I hope that my life will open up and I'll have the capacity to where I can be in best friendship with them um, in the future. But for now, I got to do what I got to do and I got to go where I got to go. Um, but communicating that and explaining that to people in a way that they understand is, I think, the crux of being a good friend. And being able to say, like, okay, I don't have the capacity right now, or whatever, is great to communicate to your friends. But some people may not be okay with that, and that's okay. They have the right to have their own expectations and requirements of friends. And if you can't meet that, you can't meet it. No love lost. We don't gotta gossip about each other and hate each other and talk about, send posts subliminally on social media all day long about you ain't no real friend. And you know, we're adults. At least we're trying to be. I'm a millennial, so I can't believe I'm an adult. I'm still anyway. All right. Um. So self-reflection. We kind of talked about that. Um. What do you need in a friendship, and what are your non-negotiables? Like I was saying, you may need somebody that can be there every day that lives down the street. A long-distance friendship where your friend moves out of the state may not align with you. You know, may not be something that you can deal with or handle. You have to be intentional. So actively seek out people that really are like you. There are some really good friend groups on Facebook, and there have been people that really make it out the group chat. Like they for real, like go on trips together and have really healthy, good relationships because their core values align, and they get along with each other, and they met each other as adults. Okay, and they just have really good positive relationships because when you meet somebody, it's just like it zings. I met this girl a couple weeks ago, and when I tell you, like, her personality, everything about her, I was just like, you are everything. We spent the whole day together and it was amazing. Okay, I had the greatest time ever. We aligned in a lot of ways, right? Our core values were very much so the same. um so it made it really easy, really easy to hang out and get along. So yeah, it's possible. Observe actions, not just words, okay? Because I could say a whole lot, but my actions won't align with that, and you'll be like, yeah, no. You could be a really good talker, but you got to be a good walker. You got to talk that talk and walk that walk. And if someone is constantly saying, girl, oh, I have to, okay, I'm not going to give that example because I still like love this person, but okay. I'll give another example. So imagine you have a friend that constantly is like, girl, I'm gonna come visit you. 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 And then they're in your city and you don't see them. It's like, girl, you would say you gonna come see me forever, and you didn't come. That's not really matching the energy that they, was given. It's a lot of lip service. Don't be afraid to prune. It's okay to let go of friends. It's okay to let go of friendships that no longer serve you, which can be very hard, right? It'd be very difficult because, hello, you know my business, and we've shared a lot together. Sometimes friendships can be deeper than romantic relationships and harder to break away from than anything in life. However, just like a tree or a bush or a rose bush, when you prune it, you get much more healthy, beautiful, vibrant branches and flowers. So it's important that we allow ourselves to grow and open our capacity for more so that we can be more, you know? Um, and then prioritize quality over quantity. Like I said, I got two best friends, one girl, one guy. That's it. That's all I got time for and energy to be a good quality friend to two people right now. So that's what I got. Okay. And those two friends feel like 20, right? I don't need anything more than that right now. I love them so very much. And I think that it's important to have really, really good quality friends because it takes the place of having 15. Like, why do I have to tell 15 people my business? I get everything from this one person. Like, I could laugh, I could joke, I could cry, I could talk about whatever, and I'm safe. So why do I need 15 people to do that with if I've got two quality people? That's good. But that's me and my life, and you might need five. You might need, because you got a lot of personalities, a lot of different interests, so you need someone to match in each of those areas. I get it. I get it. Let's see. um oh yeah, okay, yeah, 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 we're done with that. We're finished with the notes for the most part. um I just want to leave you with these couple ideas or concepts to keep in mind to maintain those healthy relationships that we're seeking out, or maintaining or correcting or fixing. Communication is everything. Showing appreciation is even more. And being a healthy friend to your friends will really help you maintain those relationships. Invest the time and invest the effort, right? Because we invest into what we truly value. And if we are not able to be what someone needs, it's okay to tell them that so that they can get their needs met from whoever can meet them, right? Um, my close friends that I love so much, but either live too far or our schedules don't align, there's no love lost, but I'm not going to be upset if they now have someone that has the capacity and time and attention to give to them. Now they're spending more time with that person. Hello, get your needs met, right? Um, that happens in life. Sometimes we go through phases and cycles and things, and we're not necessarily the number one priority friend in that person's life, and that's okay. That's okay. Life will either realign you or not. Doesn't mean you have to harbor hatred or feel some kind of way about them. It just means that your life is opening up, their life is opening up, and your needs are being met, and that's okay. Okay. All right. So thank you for stopping by and listening today, wherever you are, however you chose to listen. I'm grateful and I'm thankful and I love you, and I hope you have a beautiful experience. And I'm going to see you next time. Okay, bye.